In a surprising turn of events, a senior officer from the Boynton Beach Police Department was pulled over by another officer for speeding. Major Michael Johnson, who was driving at 97 miles per hour in a 65 miles per hour zone on Interstate 95, decided to respond by pulling over the officer who had just given him a ticket. This unusual incident was captured on video from cameras inside both vehicles and on the officers themselves. After requesting the footage for over a year, Contact 5 finally received it. The video shows that Major Johnson, who was off duty at the time and driving an unmarked police car, was clocked at nearly 100 miles per hour. Officer Mark Sohn, who pulled him over, was driving his K9 unit vehicle during the stop.
95 southbound approaching Woolbright. 535 for Victor Bravo. I'm sorry, sir?
Seriously?
Well, you were speeding.
Okay.
What's that?
You're right.
I'm trying to do my job.
Okay. On my left.
Okay. Temper, that's a tag. 22. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Seriously, go ahead.
I'm not going to write you a ticket, I have the discretion. But you know you were speeding, so...
From the very beginning of the interaction, it's obvious that Major Johnson is frustrated about being pulled over. His behavior suggests he expected to receive special treatment due to his rank.
You were speeding, so...
Yep.
Okay. All right. Drive safe. I was at 97 miles an hour at one point, catching up to this vehicle. Can I too? You can show me 10-8, 55 Sierra 7. For the record, that was Mike Johnson, our major. Get a 10-20, I get 56 in.
The officer explained to Major Johnson that he had been speeding and was on his way to address the situation.
You seriously talk to me like that? You just failed to signal your lane change, and you also failed to make your left turn.
My left turn.
When you made your left turn off I-95 on the overpass, you didn't have your signal on.
Later in the video and in the official report, Officer Sohn admits he didn't realize he was pulling over his own supervisor or that the car belonged to the police department. Initially, Officer Sohn let Major Johnson off with just a warning, but things took a turn when Major Johnson decided to pull Officer Sohn over shortly after. During this second stop, Major Johnson criticized Officer Sohn's driving, pointing out issues like not using a turn signal, improper lane changes, and a faulty left turn. As the interaction continued, Major Johnson noticed Officer Sohn's body camera was recording. At that point, he asked if the camera was on and requested Officer Sohn to make sure it was recording.
Are you seriously serious about this?
First of all, I didn't know who you were.
I got that. What was
I was at 97 miles an hour behind you. 97.
What was my speed, Mark?
97.
What was my speed?
97.
Not a chance.
Okay.
Not a chance. I've never hit 100 in this car in my life.
Okay. But you also agreed you were speeding, right?
Is your body camera on?
It is on.
Please make sure it is on.
It is on. It was on before.
I agreed that I was speeding. You want to write me a ticket?
No, I didn't write you a
really
ticket.
talk to me like that?
Sir, you stuck your hands out the window going, seriously?
No, I put my hands out the window so you didn't do something silly.
No, sir.
Okay, Mark, listen.
When have I done something silly?
I didn't say you are doing something silly. I said so you don't do something silly.
What would I do that's silly?
Well, apparently... Okay, Mark, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Listen, all I'm saying is the traffic laws apply to me just like they do to you. And I admitted I'm speeding, and I'm doing it on your body camera, but I was not going 97 miles an hour.
I was behind you at 97 miles an hour.
Very good. But I wasn't going 97.
Okay. So how fast were you going then?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But I know I wasn't doing 97 because I've never done 97 in this in my life, even while I'm working.
Major Johnson continued to argue with Officer Sohn about the speed he was driving, insisting that he wasn't going as fast as Officer Sohn had reported.
I'm willing to give you my driver's license.
I'm allowed to do discussion, am I not?
Mark, come on.
Do you want a ticket?
Yes, if that's what you want to give me.
That's not what I wanted to give you.
It's ridiculous that you and I are having this discussion. It's like, okay, I said, you're right. I probably was going too fast. But I'm not...
All he said was, just slow down, for your safety as well as everyone else's.
That's not what you actually said.
I said, just slow down.
That's not what you actually said.
I didn't say slow down?
You said slow down, Mark. You did not say slow down for your safety and for the safety.
Okay, but that's what it was meant. Slow down. Do I have to say for the
Do you
safety?
remember in 2006 when you stopped me in my Tahoe and you said I was speeding on South
Yes,
Crest?
Officer Adams and I, we stopped you because your vehicle matched the description of a
Yes.
41 vehicle from West Palm Beach that was involved in a shooting.
Did I make a big deal out of any of it?
You shoved your hands out the window, did the same
I
thing,
always-
and said, seriously? You said, seriously? I'm like, we looked at each other like, are you kidding? We didn't know you were in Cat then. We didn't know if this was an undercover operation. And then you start arguing with us that you weren't speeding.
You told me I was doing 45 and a 40.
No.
That's what you told me.
No. We never even got to that point. I never left my vehicle. Officer Adams was with me. We looked over the hood of our car at each other.
All right. I'm not going to argue with you, Mark.
I'm not arguing either, but that's what happened.
Have I, at any point in time, have I cursed at you or been disrespectful to you?
No, have I?
No, of course. I'm not accusing you of that. All I'm saying is, listen.
The two officers argued about how the situation was handled. During their debate, Major Johnson also mentioned a previous incident where he had been stopped while working undercover.
If I was speeding, I apologize. Okay? But at the same time, is once you know it's me and you're not going to give me a ticket, I don't need the... I offered you my license. I offered you everything. But I really, like, I don't get it. Like, as soon as you know it's me, if you want to give me a ticket, I'm happy to take it. At the same time as pick one or the other, but don't give me the diatribe. I don't need that. Just like I would never do that to anybody on the street. I either give them a ticket or I send them on their way.
Wolverine Seacrest.
All right, Mark. Listen. Apparently it's a misunderstanding tonight. It's fine.
Good.
I'm not gonna argue.
It's not a.
I don't have my radio with me.
Hang on a second.
Actually, I do have my radio with me. It doesn't apparently work. All I want to do is talk to you.
Major Johnson said it was a misunderstanding and expressed a desire to end the conversation, clearly growing tired of the argument. Despite this, Officer Sohn stood his ground against the higher-ranking officer, refusing to back down or admit he was wrong when he was actually correct. This shows Officer Sohn's commitment to his duties as a police officer.
10-4, I'll be around. Listen, I'm not...
All I want to do is talk to you, Mark. That was all.
Okay, well...
Just you and I. That was it.
And I can do that.
Okay, that's fine. It's not a big deal. All I'm saying is, listen, I didn't mean to disrespect you in any way. And I don't think you meant to disrespect me in any way. All I'm telling you is, if I was speeding, I own it. And I am willing to accept this citation. I'm good with it. But
I give... Listen, I'm not here to give anyone a citation. That's not even half the time I don't plan on giving citations when I get out of my vehicle. So that's not it. I give less citations, I give more breaks than I do citations.
I'm well aware.
Okay?
I'm well aware.
I'm not here to argue with you, but you know, I stopped you for speeding.
I will make sure I notify the chief that I was...
You don't have to notify the chief. I'm not going to tell anyone.
I have no choice but to, by policy. So I will let him know that I was stopped for speeding by you tonight, and that's just the way it is. But even so, all right, we're good.
I'm good. All right. All I want you to do is slow down. I don't want to see anything happen to you. You know what I'm saying?
I believe that 100%.
I don't want to see anything happen to any of us. I yelled at Acosta a few weeks ago on Channel 2 for driving like an idiot. That's all.
I believe you 100%.
Okay.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Be safe.
Thank you.
Before they parted ways, Major Johnson mentioned he planned to report being pulled over by Officer Sohn to his own supervisor. This incident led to a 13-month investigation into Major Johnson's behavior, with claims of misconduct and poor performance. Johnson explained to investigators that his intention in stopping Officer Sohn was simply to have a discussion. Initially, Major Johnson received a written reprimand for both allegations. However, City Manager Lori Leverrier recently dismissed the improper behavior claim because Johnson wasn't officially cited for speeding. According to the Internal Affairs report, speeding was cited as an example of conduct that violates the city's code of conduct, and a citation isn't necessary for a violation to be recognized. Records show that former Chief Jeffrey Katz and City Manager Laverriere were concerned about potential leaks within the department after Contact 5 requested records. Chief Katz ordered a further investigation to determine if the body camera footage had been leaked. However, the records provided to Contact 5 did not show any evidence of the footage being shared with the news outlet. It's troubling to see how those in authority, like police officers, can behave this way. It seems that if you're a police officer speeding close to 100 miles per hour, you might get off easy, while an ordinary person speeding just 10 miles per hour over the limit faces serious consequences. This creates a double standard that undermines trust in the justice system. Consider how a regular person would be treated for driving nearly 100 miles per hour. They'd likely face charges for reckless driving, arrest, penalties such as losing their driving privileges, higher insurance rates, legal fees, and possibly vehicle impoundment. The discrepancy in how different individuals are treated is hard to ignore and raises questions about fairness and accountability. Major Johnson's actions have left many feeling disappointed and questioning the integrity of law enforcement. Next, we'll look at a similar case where the officer who was stopped didn't handle it as well. An Orlando police officer has been suspended after a video surfaced showing him getting pulled over for speeding in Seminole County and then leaving the scene. The footage reveals the officer driving an Orlando Police Department SUV at approximately 80 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour zone on Florida Avenue near Hammock Street and east of State Road 434, north of Oviedo. Notably, he had neither his lights nor sirens on. Just take a look.
Over 100 miles an hour trying to catch up with this butthead. He's the guy that copy down that bumper number.
This one or this one?
Yeah, 11070. Pull over. You gonna pull over?
Please say a command.
Pull over.
The deputy had to speed up to catch the SUV near Florida Avenue and De Leon Street. Despite using lights and sirens to signal the Orlando Police Department vehicle to pull over, the driver didn't stop. The deputy then had to maneuver their vehicle in front of the SUV to force it to halt. The body camera footage shows the deputy exiting their car and approaching the SUV, where Officer Shaouni had also gotten out of his vehicle.
www.syncmyride.com
3113 to 313.
What?
Do you,
I am going into work, my man. Why are you trying to pull me over as I'm going?
Because you're going 80 and a 45.
I am going into work.
Okay, what are you going
What
to
does
work
it look
for?
like I'm dressed for?
I have
What
no...
does it look like I'm dressed for?
My name is Deputy Hilton, and they see your driver's license.
No.
Okay. 3113, copy at 1050. 10-4, I got a city, Orlando PD taking off from a traffic stop. It's going to be X-ray Foxtrot 6207, XF 6207. You refuse to stop.
www.syncmyride.com.
Shaouni, wearing a uniform with his name on it, told the deputy he was heading to work. When asked about the call he was responding to, Shaouni simply replied, "Look how I am dressed. What do you think?" He then refused to show his driver's license, got back into his SUV, and drove away. Following this, the Orlando Police Department announced that Shaouni has been suspended, while both the Sheriff's Office and the Police Department conduct internal investigations. Following the investigation, Officer Alexander Shaouni was arrested by the Seminole County Sheriff's Office. He was caught driving the Orlando Police Department SUV at about 80 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour zone on Florida Avenue, near Hammock Street and east of State Road 434, north of Oviedo, without his lights or sirens on. Shaouni now faces charges for reckless driving, evading and eluding law enforcement, and resisting an officer without violence. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to like and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below.